Rainbow Six Siege has nearly 70 operators, all with their own unique abilities and loadouts that they bring to the table. With all of these choices, some operators will slip under the radar. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over all the operators in Rainbow Six Siege that I think are heavily underrated, and I'll be going in depth on why that is. So if you want to learn a thing or two, or if you just find these videos entertaining, strap in, because this is going to be a controversial one. Ying is an operator that is really underutilized in Siege for how much utility she brings to the table. She currently has a 6% pick rate, despite her being considered around A or S tier by most people. And people don't rank her that high for no reason. Ying provides you with 3 Candelas, which can allow you to take map control or clear out a defender with ease. And she has smoke grenades, which complements her gadget immensely. The only real downside of Ying is that the LMG she has is kind of mediocre compared to other attacker weapons, but with all that utility she brings, I don't think it matters at the end of the day. A great example of where Ying can excel is blue on Oregon. Normally, defenders have a shield set up in this corner on blue with the defender playing behind it. Ying can burn the ADSs with her smokes or have someone else do it for her, and then she can Candela the defender, which will force them to either flee or die while blind. There are multiple other examples like this one of her gadget being quite strong, but I think you get the idea. Ying is just a very good operator for taking map control and also just dealing with pesky defenders. Moving past Ying, we have Gridlock. Gridlock has always been an underpicked and underrated operator in my opinion. Gridlock has access to an amazing gun in the form of the F90. This thing has good damage, a solid fire rate, and it has access to every magnification sight in the game. She also has the option of bringing a Gon 6 or a Super Shorty. The Gon 6 allows her to clear pesky utility, and the Super Shorty allows her to open soft surfaces. Then, on top of it all, she has access to EMP impacts, which can help your team open a wall or disable even more utility. And her insane utility doesn't stop at just her loadout either. She also has an amazing gadget to go along with it. Gridlock's gadget is her track stingers. They are an aerial denial and flank watch gadget that can save your team a ton of time. She can throw them down in a hallway or on a stairway, and the track stingers will begin to spread to fill that area. When defenders step on them, they will take damage, and the only way around them is to shoot them or waste explosives to clear them out, both of which provide your team with ample warning of the defenders flanking. Another thing that's useful about Gridlock's track stingers is that they make a lot of noise. You can use this to your advantage to hide the sound of your teammate planting the diffuser or anything else you want to hide from the defenders. The only thing that Gridlock has going against her is the fact that she is a 3 armor. But since he literally has no other downsides, I don't think this makes much of a difference. In my opinion, I would be running Gridlock as much as you can. She can help your team open the wall, hold the flank, and clear utility. If you've watched my previous videos, then I'm sure you won't be surprised by this, but I think Capitao is an extremely underrated operator in ranked. He literally has no downsides, and he can be run on pretty much every map and bomb site. Now, if you don't know anything about Capitao, let me fill you in. Capitao's loadout is an incredibly strong loadout compared to other operators on the attacking side. He has access to the M249 LMG and the Para 308 as primary options, and both of these weapons are amazing. The M249 offers a large magazine size and low recoil, while the Para 308 offers stupid high damage and faster mobility. Also, the M249 has access to any optic all the way up to the 2.5x. But the Para only has access to the 2x. Taking all of that into account though, I think the Para 308 is still the better choice. I prefer its faster mobility and higher DPS output, but either one is a good choice because they both have way above average DPSs. On top of the great primaries, he also has access to the Gon 6, which we discussed earlier. Having access to one of these means he can help his team clear crucial utility. And on top of the Gon 6, he also has access to the secondary hard breach gadget, which can allow you to breach 2 hatches or make vault holes in a reinforced wall. These two combined gives Capitao a ton of utility. And that's not to mention his gadget, which is one of the best in the game. Capitao has access to a crossbow, which allows him to shoot 4 bolts, 2 fire bolts and 2 smoke bolts. His fire bolts, when shot, cause fire to spread in a large area. Any defenders caught in his fire will take fire damage over time, and his smoke bolts are pretty self-explanatory. They're basically just bigger smoke grenades. Also, the fact that he isn't countered by Jaeger's ADSs makes this even stronger. If you aren't running Capitao right now, you should be. He provides so much utility to your team, and he has access to an amazing loadout. Now for the next underrated operator, we have Doc. A lot of people wouldn't even consider Doc for this list, but since he can heal for 200 HP per stim, I think he is definitely worth including in this video. This allows him to revive you to full HP and with 20 overheal. His stims have the ability to single-handedly clutch rounds because of this. Now, the main issue with Doc's stims, though, is that one-shot headshot exists. One shot headshot makes Doc a somewhat niche pick because even if Doc stims you, you aren't guaranteed to get use out of that stim. You could just get headshot and immediately in the next gunfight, and now that stim has effectively done nothing. However, when talking about Doc's loadout, Doc probably has one of the most consistent loadouts in the game. He has access to the MP5, P90, and the French shotgun as primary options. All of these primaries are amazing for their specific use cases. For example, the French shotgun is amazing for close range engagements, the MP5 is decent at medium to long range, and the P90 can also be really strong in close to mid range. But on top of all of these great primary options, his secondary options are just as good because he has access to the bailiff as his secondary, which gives him some additional utility for setting up the bomb site. This is huge for Doc, and him having access to the secondary shotgun makes him a much more appealing choice, since this gives him the ability to set up the bomb site. And since he is one of the few operators in the game with barbed wire that is viable, he is actually pretty useful outside of his gadget. So I would recommend you consider bringing Doc more in your ranked games. He's fun and can provide some decent utility for his team. Moving past Doc, we have Goyo. Goyo is a game delay operator very similar to Smoke. However, with Smoke kind of falling off recently, I'm sure you are looking for someone to fill his place, and I think Goyo is the perfect operator for that job. He has access to the Vector, which is one of the best defender primaries in the game, and he has access to the TCSG, which is a solid option if you need head holes made or you just want to be more effective at range. On top of his amazing loadout, he also has access to impact grenades, which mess well with his gadget. His gadget is the Vulcan canister. He has access to 4 of these canisters that when exploded, they will distribute fire in a large radius for 20 seconds. This means that Goyo can delay a total of 80 seconds in any given round. Needless to say, this is incredibly strong. However, the one caveat is that his gadget takes a decent amount of time to understand. You don't want to just place his canisters in an area that could hurt your team, and you also don't want to place them where the attackers can just shoot them and negate your gadget entirely. So he does have a bit of a learning curve, but I promise if you put in time to understand him, you'll see some amazing results. Now, our next operator, Wamai, is a nade denial operator that can be a worthwhile replacement for Jaeger in your lineup. His gadget is his magnets, which captures any projectiles that enter their radius and will detonate them when they are successfully dragged to the magnet. Now, this does make them more niche than Jaeger's ADSs, but the one advantage is that Jaeger can't capture as many projectiles as Wamai if he gets all his magnets down. This means that there is an importance on Wamai staying alive, but that shouldn't be an issue since he has 2 of the best guns on the defensive side. This is one of the main reasons I think people should run him more. Compared to Jaeger, he has way more fragging capability in almost every sense, and he can provide slightly more utility if you use him properly. So to me, I'd rather run Wamai anytime I can over Jaeger. Now, for the final operator of the video, we have Rooney. Rooney is another nade denial operator that fills a very similar role to Jaeger and Wamai. However, she has a few tricks up her sleeve that helps to differentiate herself from other operators in this class. First off, her gadget, since it basically is a laser barricade, can act as an entry denial device on top of being useful for burning utility. Secondly, she comes equipped with a passive ability that allows her to punch walls and floors to make fist-sized holes in the surface. This could be useful for setting up the bomb site, which gives her a huge advantage over Jaeger and Wamai. However, where she differs the most is in the fact that she is an anchor. Since Rooney is a 3 armor, she is basically forced to anchor down in the bomb site. However, her primary choices also lock her into this role since her most popular primary option is the DMR. So if you're looking for a new anchor to add to your roster that can set up the site and bring a ton of utility, Rooney is the perfect one for the job. Anyways, that wraps up today's video. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with this list in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your opinion. If you enjoyed today's video, I make Siege content just like this twice a week, so go subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter if you don't want to miss the next upload. Also, if you want to see yourself in new videos or streams, join up in the Discord. I want to get active over there, so don't be afraid to join up. Now, if you want to watch another video just like this one, I'll be popping up on your screen right now, where I talk about the most overrated operators in Rainbow Six Siege. I'll see you next time, friends, and peace.